Hi, it's KP with Team PCD, and I got first place at a Photon Hypernova tournament playing Runick Spright, and I just wanted to share my deck list with you. I was playing one Hyperia and two Swap Frogs. Um, I do go for the Toad combo most of the time, but it kind of just depends on my hand what I'm going to summon off Gigantic. If I'm able to, if I draw one, then I might just get the other. It just kind of depends on my hand and the situation what I go for. But most of the time, I would say I probably go for Toad. For the sprites, Carrot Red, 3 Blue, and 3 Jet. I'm not playing Pixies because in Runick Spright, I feel like I have a lot of protection, so I wasn't too worried about battle effects. And I can't go into battle phase most of the time, so I'm not going to really be forcing it on my turns. So it'd be more of like a defensive card. And I'm trying to keep it like a clean 40, so that's part of the reason. I opted to play 3 Lava Golem and 3 Spear Mode rather than having hand traps as a way to just clear boards and then try and set up my own board when I was going second. And in this build, I don't need my normal summon because the Runick card special summons a level 2 monster, which allows the sprites to all summon from hand. The Hyperia and the Toad, most of the time, you're just summoning them through the deck by Gigantic. So you get to just waste your normal summon on these to clear boards and then full combo right after. So it's very strong. I play for the Runick cards 1 Smiting, 1 Dispelling, 2 Fountain, 3 Tip, 3 Destruction, 3 Curses, 3 Flashing Fire, and 3 Slumber. Um, so as you can probably see that there is no anglers in this deck. All of the runic spells are free level 2, and then you just kind of can combo from there. So, um, and I'm just trying to cut on space, so that's why I don't play those cards. But these are very strong. Like I said, it really combos with the Lava Golem and Spear mode because this prevents you from having to use your normal summon. For the last cards, I play 3 starter and 1 double cross. This is probably gonna be like the weirdest option, and the reason why is since I only play 2 Swap Frog because I'm limiting myself on how many. I don't want to draw too many normal summons because of my Spear modes and Lava Golems. So I don't have a lot of extend, and I don't have like the beavers and anglers and things like that. So like I don't end on a lot of level 2s, and I just don't really want to have smashers where I have to kind of like neg to get rid of one card. I already have a lot of ways to get rid of things. Like Flashing Fire can destroy special summon monsters, and Runic Destruction can get rid of back row. So the Smashers I don't think is as important. Like yes, it is very strong, but I don't think it's as important. So Double Cross is something that I can use most of the time, and it's just a 1-for-1 trade rather than me losing 2 cards for 1. So that's my reasoning. And a lot of times in this build, I end on the Gigantic with a fusion under it, 3200 attack. So I can usually just take their monster and put it under there as a material. A lot of times people shotgun the battle phase against my elf or my toad if they have like a bestial to attack over it, and that's when I'll just double cross take their monster, and that usually um, puts me way ahead of my opponent because they waste their battle phase and they can't stop me from negating their cards. So that's the reason why I play double cross. If you like smashers better, or if you alter the build to be better with smashers, then that's fine. For the extra deck, I play 3 Hugin. Some people, when they play this build, they only play 2 Hugin, but I will tell you, almost every time I go first, I summon 2 Hugin on my turn. The first one is the one you're going to discard to search your field spell if you don't have it. And then later in the combo, after you have deck thinned a lot, searched everything with your sprites, summoned like the toad, summoned swap frog, sent the other swap frog to make your toad, and things like that. Like once you've deck thinned, Then I'll special my second Hugin in the extra monster zone. Like when I'll have like gigantic in the main zone, so like my extra zone is open. I'll summon the second Hugin to trigger my fountain to draw maybe one or two cards, or maybe even three cards, depending on my hand. So that's the reason why I use two in one turn. One to search field spell, one to trigger the draws on my turn, and then after that, the following turns is where, if they clear your elf or whatever, break your board a little bit, but you're still in the fight, you'll summon your next Hugin to to rebuild your board. I play one Jerry. In this build, you don't really like have room to go through two or three Jerrys popping boards, and you don't really need it as much either because I'm playing the spear modes and lava golems. So one's pretty good. Like it's good enough that either you bait the main negate that they have, or you'll pop the most problematic card. So either way, you're kind of getting advantage off of just the one Jerry. And like I said, like a lot of times, like I'll lava golem in attack position, crash with the Jerry for 3,000 life point damage, and then pop whatever card that was remaining that the lava golem couldn't get rid of. So the one Jerry is fine. For Xyz, too gigantic. It's very good in this deck because it's 3,200 attack because you usually summon it with a runic monster. One Soul Sweeper. It's just really good at removing a Bestial or just a big monster. And if this can stay on board, if you can protect it on your following turn after the monster has returned to the board during your opponent's end phase, you can just banish it again. So things like that's very strong. Another reason is you have to skip your battle phases a lot in this deck, to where maybe on the turn that you are skipping your battle phase, you banish that monster, and then you skip your battle phase, and then your next turn when you banish it again, now you're able to attack and maybe go for game or something. So it's very good. The last XZ is the totally awesome, obviously because of the Swap Frog. Like I mentioned before, it's just like the two Swap Frogs all I'm playing. I'm not playing Dupe Frog or the third swap, so I'm not summoning an extra copy in the standby. But these are the only XEs I play. I don't play the Mosquito because Runick, once again, they don't really have battle phases most of the time, so it's kind of like a wasted slot. For links, I play one IP Masquerena. So the Toad is when you summon Swap off Gigantic. IP is when you summon Hyperia. So that's the kind of like the difference. 3 Elf. You have to play 3 in this deck because since you're skipping your battle phase and your opponent is always going to try and kill your elf first, like they'll always try and summon like a Bestial or something to go in battle phase to attack over your elf and maybe attack over your Toad. So your elf is going to be dying like first every turn. So you need 3 so that you can continue to grind. 1 Dark, 1 Unicorn, and 1 Avermax. These are mainly summoned with the IP, but can also be potentially summoned using like the elf. Sorry, the Dark and the Unicorn can combo together pretty well. But that's it for the extra deck. For the side deck, Red Resonator, because you know why. 3 Shifter, 1 Drew Swarm, and 3 Magnemite. Obviously, these are all against Tyr. Tyr's like the biggest threat against this deck, so I'm siding pretty heavy for them. I usually take out 8 Runic cards going second to put all these in. And then, since I'm playing the Lava Golems and the Spear Modes in the main, I decided to play 6 good normal summons. Or better said, tribute summons, which is 3 Majesty's Fiend and 3 Vanity's Fiend. Once again, we don't use our normal summon in our combo, so I full combo and do all the searching I can, and then when I draw cards, I'm hoping to draw into these. And I usually don't end on a board with Toad if I'm summoning Majesty's Fiend, for example. You usually will summon the Hyperia to draw a card, and then tribute the Hyperia for one of these, and it really stops your opponent from being able to beat you, and then you kind of just focus on winning with Runic cards. And since you play so many Runick cards in this build, it's not really that difficult. The last card I play is the Gamma Burst. It's very good with Shifter. Um, if you draw like Shifter, a Bestial, and access to your Sprite combo, you could potentially OTK your opponent if they left one monster on board. Um, but another thing is it's just a good defensive card after siding. Um, if your opponent's trying to maybe quickly go into the battle phase during time, and you can make all your monsters gain 1400 attack, it makes it harder for them to easily just walk over you because all the sprite cards are pretty small attack. So once everything's over 2k or 2400, 2500 attack, that puts you at a huge advantage when it's close to time. But that's it for the deck list. If you guys have any questions or comments, just go ahead and post below. We do have a merch site available in the description if you guys want to check that out. And thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like. Thank you.